Hey guys, welcome to Farm Charm Chic. I'm Emily. In today's episode, I have some of the most adorable snowman DIYs for you. It is part of a Christmas collaboration, which I will tell you a little bit more about. But if you do like crafting, DIYs, dupes, hacks, thrift flips, or just creating in general, I would love if you would consider hitting that subscribe button and becoming my crafting BFF. Remember to hit that thumbs up if you do like any of today's projects, but let's make some DIYs. I love picking up signs like this at the craft stores. These particular ones came from Dollar Tree. It doesn't ever matter what they say because I'm always going to make them over. So I just peeled the paper back and it leaves a little bit of this backing that's been glued onto this. And these are not the wood signs from Dollar Tree. These are more like of a composite material. So I just spray them with water and let them soak for a few moments. And then you'll see that this just peels right off. And even though like the top layer kind of peels off, as you can see here, if you spray it again and let it sit for just maybe another minute, you'll be able to take your scraper, and as you see, it will just scrape right off of there. It's kind of actually pretty satisfying getting all of that off of there. It is a little bit sticky with the glue, so you do just want to wash your hands after so you don't get glue on everything. The shortest of these signs was about 10 inches, and I'm going to leave that as is. I won't be cutting that one. It will be the bottom of my stack here. The next one I will cut down to 8 inches, and then I cut one down to 6 inches. And then that left a little piece off of the one that I end up putting on the top that is 4 inches. So I just go down 2 inches on each. So there's, if that makes sense, hopefully you can see that there's an inch on each side. Now my top 2 tiers of this little snowman stack that I am making, I will paint black. This is going to be the hat portion of my snowman, and I'm just using some chalkboard paint from Dollar Tree. One coat did very good coverage on these, so I didn't have to do that. I'm just using some white chalk paint here on the bottom 2 stacks. It did take about 3 coats to get the coverage that I wanted. Now I just need to glue my little snowman face together here, so I'm just using a combination of E6000. Super glue would work too. You could probably even just do hot glue since this won't be getting probably a lot of use other than just sitting on a shelf. I just thought I would make it a little bit more of a permanent hold if it fell over or anything. I don't know. I just thought the E6000 added a little bit of an extra bond on there. So that's up to you. I know a lot of people comment that they cannot stand the smell of E6000, which it definitely has an odor, but it doesn't bother me too much. Anyhow, I'm just gluing this all together here, each stack, just making sure that I get it so it's all even. And then I have these little wooden discs. I got this in a package. I bought a big box of craft material at a yard sale. However, be creative. If you find something like bingo chips or something like that at the Dollar Tree, use something like that. You could even just use wooden half beads or something if you happen to have those. Be creative. Anything will work. Now I'm just taking a paint stir stick and I am just using my scissors to cut out a carrot nose, just kind of a triangle shape. And as you saw, my scissors cut through there pretty decently, and so I was able to get that shape. Very rustic look, which is what I was going for. I'm going to paint my carrot orange, and then I am going to paint some little teeny ridges on my carrot there to kind of give it a little bit of dimension. Now after I dry those, I go back over with the orange paint to kind of make them look a little bit faded, so that way they weren't so stark and obvious. Now I just go back in and I'm just using some hot glue to glue on the eyes and the mouth. I like to lay it out before I glue it so I have an idea of where I'm going and make sure everything is spaced right and looks good. And then again, this part I just do with hot glue and it goes rather quickly. So now I just position the nose. I put a little bit of glue along the nose on the back. I did not want that nose to hang over the edge, so I put it right up to the edge there, but I didn't want it to like get broken off. But that's just up to you. If you want to have it hanging over the edge, that would be really cute as well. So now we're just going to tuck some little foliage into this snowman's cute little hat here. And I'm just using a combination of like little spare parts, if you will, that I have from different picks. So I have like some lamb's ear. There's a little bit of the boxwood. Those both came from Walmart. These berry picks came from Dollar Tree. And then I have this little evergreen that I think it came on a plant that my mom gave me. I don't know. It came from somewhere, but I just got a bunch of little things. When you're doing a little hat like this that you want some variety, you don't have to have like one whole pick. Just use your spare parts, what you've got, and that works great. And I decided to have some glued kind of up towards the top of his hat and some kind of coming down. So when I put that ribbon band on, it looks like some's peeking out below. And I just used some hot glue to put that on the back. This ribbon just came from Dollar Tree. I love this cute little gingham ribbon. And as you see, I'm just going to flatten that down on the back there. Now I'm going to do a cute little bow here. I just tied a couple loops on a little bow there and put a zip tie in the middle to put on his hat. And I thought that bow looked really cute. Now, of course, if a bow is not your style, do not put a bow on there. I had someone comment in my last video that asked if I had to put a bow on everything. Yes, I do have to put a bow on everything because that's what I like. It might be impossible for me to not put one on there. If it's not your style and you're making this, please make it to how you like it. Now, I'm just taking a little bit of the leftover black paint in my brush and just kind of dry brushing the edges. I wanted to give this a little bit of dimension, and I really like the way that it looked on the nose to kind of help that pop. Now you can go as light or as heavy as you like on this. I don't really consider this like distressing. I feel like this is just more giving it a little bit of dimension. It looked kind of flat with just the white paint there. And then here I take the white that's left over in my brush, and I'm going to go over all of the black parts here. So just over the edges of his hat. Kind of looked a little bit like it was frosted there. And then I really like the look going over the little round discs here. It really did make those pop against that black against the white there, the edges. It just kind of gave it just a really good dimension, and I really loved it. I think this turns out absolutely darling. What do you guys think of him? Would you put him on one of your shelves for this Christmas season? I just love him, and I really feel like snowmen are just the essence of winter and Christmas, and it is something that you can make as Christmassy as you want, but they can also stay up all winter long. I am so excited about today's collaboration. I absolutely love getting together with my YouTube friends and making a playlist that is full of beautiful inspiration for you. We are doing a Christmas collaboration today, so all of the videos are going to be chock full of Christmas decorating DIYs and decor ideas for you. I have this month hosting Liana DIY. Liana is so fantastic and does such a great job of putting this together, and I absolutely love her whimsical DIYs. We have hosting with us this month as guests Jujubee DIY and Breeze Arts, and they are both absolutely fantastic, and I am so excited to see the DIYs that they have created for you. So down in my description box, you are going to find a link to today's playlist, as well as pinned in my comments, so it's easy for you to find. So remember to check that out and see all of the other fun DIYs that these ladies have for you, and look at all of the wonderful talent that is participating this time. Let's go make some more DIYs. I love using pizza pans from Dollar Tree to make signs out of, and they always turn out so cute. So I've decided to do one with my snowman theme, and I found the cutest little SVG off of Etsy. I'll leave the link to it down in my description box that I thought fit perfectly. Now, my trick to painting on pizza pans, I always get asked tons of questions about this, of how I get it to work, and there's a few different ways. So the first thing I do is, well, the first thing I would recommend is sand it a little bit with your sandpaper so your Mod Podge and your paint has something to adhere to. So I am just using Mod Podge here, and I do one thin coat. I let that dry completely. I walk away from it for like an hour, let it dry, come back, and then put another little coat on it. You want them to dry completely because this is what your paint is going to stick to. And just two small thin coats, and that makes sure you get the coverage that you want. That's at least how I do it. After that second layer has completely dried, you can do one of two things. You can spray paint, which I do recommend. However, I got snow where I lived this week, so I had to chalk paint, and I'm just doing thin layers. So you can just see this is my first layer here, and then I go back in with my second layer. If you choose to do this way or have to do it with your chalk paint, it's going to take you about 7 or 8 layers or coats of paint. This is 8 coats that I did of just thin layers. Now, I did get this little decal off of Etsy. I did use my cutting machine to cut it out. A lot of times you'll be able to find some people who sell circular that fit, actually, because these Dollar Tree pizza pan signs are so popular. You'll be able to find sellers that will sell the actual decals that they've cut out that they'll ship to you. I do have tutorials on how to print on tissue paper if you don't have a cutting machine. So there are several options that you can use. And so this is how I like to peel back when I do my transfer papers. I like to peel backwards like this. I feel like I have a little bit more success with that. Sometimes if you guys have worked with transfer paper, you all know that it's not all created equal and it does not always work like you want it to. So now I am just lining this up as best as I can. I'm not one that measures a whole lot, but I do kind of look at those circles on the top and the bottom and just kind of gauge where they are with the sign. Now when I'm pulling this back, I'm just being very careful. You can kind of see there was one little area there that the paint did start to come up. I just pushed it down and rubbed it down and that paint went right back down. And then I just am very gentle as I pull this off. If there's ever an area that does pull a little bit of the paint off, you just go back in and touch it up after. You just have to be very delicate doing this process. Now, one thing that I love to do with vinyl is it kind of has a shiny feel, a lot of it. Even if you use the matte, I still do this, is I go in with a dry brush and brush over all of the vinyl. I think that gives it a nice little aged look, a weathered look, and it kind of dulls down the sheen that comes from the vinyl that you're using. And I feel like it just makes it look more stenciled, and I just really like how the look of that is. I think this sign is absolutely timeless. I think it turned out so beautiful. Honestly, I mean, Frosty and Snowman are always going to be relevant when it comes to decorating for winter and Christmas time. I mean, seriously, think about it. Snowmen are never going out of style. When it comes to Christmas decorating, they're always going to be around. And so I really feel that this sign is just elegant and timeless. I think these little cutting boards that you're finding at Dollar Tree right now are absolutely adorable. These are found in their crafters corner, kind of in the unfinished wood stuff that they have. I've seen them at my Dollar Tree several times. Actually, a few of the Dollar Trees that I have been to over the last few months, I've seen them. So hopefully you've been able to find them at yours. If not, I always just tell people, just keep checking. They'll eventually come. And always check dollartree.com also. But remember on dollartree.com to ship to your store. It saves you a lot of money instead of having to pay shipping to your home. Now, that being said, all I'm doing on this is I just paint the bottom portion white and I go up the handle just a little bit, and then I'm painting the rest of the handle here with black. And the black covers really good. This is just chalkboard paint. I only needed to do one coat on that. The white I did have to do 2 coats. And then I'm just taking a paint stir stick. This is one that I had used. I'd cut the end off for another project. I just cut it down and I just eyeballed the size. I'm making this cute little snowman and I just wanted this to be kind of the brim of his hat. And so I just eyeballed it. I don't have an exact measurement on what I did. I just laid it down and kind of went, that looks like a good size, and that's where I cut it. So I just kind of wanted a little ski wampus there. I thought that looked kind of cute there, and just using some hot glue, I put that down on the cutting board itself, and then I just glue that little brim of his hat right down there. And you can kind of see it coming together hopefully already. And I did just get a little bit of smudging on that black, so I just kind of went over it with a little what was left on the brush there to cover that up. Now I have these half beads. These came from Amazon. I can link them down in my description box below. And these are just kind of a smaller size, and I thought they would be really cute to kind of look like pieces of coal for his eyes and his mouth. So I'm just going over them with some black paint and just making sure I get all of the edges and everything. And then on another paint stir stick, I am just cutting out a carrot nose, and I'm just kind of going from the end and cutting in towards the center at an angle, just like the shape of a carrot. And it just cut very easily with my scissors, and I was able to get that shape out. And then I did go in and sand it a lot with my emery board to get rid of any rough edges or anything like that. Next, I just glue with some hot glue the eyes and the mouth on, and I just kind of space them out just by eyeballing it. And on this cute little carrot nose, I'm just using some orange paint to give it that carrot color. And then after I get that completely covered, I want to make some little ridges on the carrot just to make it, give a little dimension, make it look like an actual carrot. This is just some mineral chalk paint that I'm using with just a little flat brush here. And you just kind of, just what looks good is what I'm doing. You could completely skip this if you were a little bit afraid to kind of go in or do this, and I do like a couple and then a grouping of 3 and just kind of offset them all the way down the edge of the carrot. Now after that completely dries, I go back in with a little bit more orange paint and just kind of cover them to dull them down so they're not quite so stark, and that way they look a little bit more like they're part of the carrot, if that makes sense. I don't know. I always say if that makes sense, but hopefully you can see what I'm showing there. Sometimes I can't find the exact words that I want to use. And then I'm just going to use some hot glue on the back of this carrot, and we're going to glue it onto the face of our snowman. This cute little wooden snowflake came from a pack of wooden stickers from Dollar Tree. I just cover it with some white chalk paint, and then after that dries, put some Mod Podge on it, and I put a little bit of glitter on there. I just thought that would be kind of a fun little thing for this little snowman's hat, to have a shiny little snowflake there. This little piece of holly came from a pack of 12 from Hobby Lobby, and then I glue that on, and then I glue this cute little snowflake on the brim of his hat, and I thought that was just the perfect little embellishment. I just think this little snowman turns out absolutely adorable. He would be perfect for a tiered tray, or just anywhere you wanted this cute little snowman to smile back at you. Are you guys on Instagram? If you are, I would love if you would come and find me. I am Farm Charm Chic over there. I'll leave a link down in my description box so you can easily find me. But come and see what I'm working on. I post there quite a bit. I like to show you things that I'm working on, or when I have videos ready. It's just another place to stay in touch. So if you do come find me, remember to send me a DM and say hi, because I do love meeting new friends. This DIY was inspired by an ornament that I saw at one of the local craft stores. It was this cute little snowman, and I thought it would be perfect to use these Dollar Tree cubes on. So I just take 3 of those, and then using some wood glue and some hot glue, I just clamp them together just to kind of get that really good hold on these. And I kind of make them a little bit askew. That's how the ornament I saw was, and I thought that was really super cute to kind of give definition. I have these little pieces of scrap wood that I'm just going to cut down to make a little hat out of, but you could easily do this out of anything else that you have, or even another sign or some of the wood pieces you get from Dollar Tree. It was just a couple little pieces that I had. And then I had a little bag of these stars that I recently got. I bought a big bag of a bunch of wood pieces at a garage sale, or a yard sale, and so I'm just using the heck out of all of that stuff. So I'll just color the hat, or paint, not color. We're gonna paint the hat black. And then as you saw earlier, I did paint my snowman in whatever color of white that you have or you want to use. And then I am painting these little stars white as well. And then I'm just taking another one of these stars, and I just kind of cut one of the little points off of them to paint orange for my little carrot nose, but whatever you'd like to use to do that would work fine. I also sanded the edges to kind of give it a very distressed look, and then I'm going to go around with some antiquing wax on all of the edges, and then I'll just kind of brush that on and then lightly wipe it off with the baby wipe, just to give a little bit of a stained look and just a little bit more definition. I do the same thing with the hat, just go around the edge with a little bit of antiquing wax on my brush, and then just wipe it off. Just again, it just kind of makes the wood look a little bit, I mean, honestly, it looks like toasted marshmallow to me with the snowman with the white and a little bit of stain on there. But anyhow, so I will take the little stars. I'm going to use those as buttons for my little snowman, and I'm just going to kind of sand the edges down. And then just using a little bit of hot glue, I just stick one right there on his little tummy, and then I go ahead and put the other one on the next little block there for his little tummy there. So cute. It's kind of starting to come together. What do you guys think? I don't know. I was really skeptical about how this would look, but I absolutely love it. So I just decide which side I want the hat to go on, and so I will just glue this on top of his head, again just using hot glue, and then I will glue the top portion of his top hat on there, and then just kind of center it as best you can. I don't really measure a lot with it when it comes to centering things. I kind of really like that askewed look. And then his little nose, just a little bit of hot glue. And honestly, you could stop right here and just leave this guy like this. He looks absolutely darling without a face painted on, but I thought I would try and paint a face. And you guys hear me talk about all the time that I never freehand anything, and you may see why here in just a minute. You'll have to let me know how I did. But I put some little eyes on there, just dipping the end of my paintbrush into my paint, and then I do kind of make them a little bit bigger because I want him to have a bit more fuller eyes. And so I kind of I'll go back in and put a little bit more. You can use a dotting tool to do this too, but the end of your paintbrush works just fine. So there's his eyes. So far we're good, but here's the smile. So I do the first little part of my smile, and honestly, it would have been cute if I had just left it like that, but I thought, oh, I'll make it a full curved smile. And again, guys, I am not a painter. I don't freehand a lot. Well, I don't detail paint, but his smile ends up looking okay, I feel like, but it is definitely just kind of a little bit ski-wampus. But it's definitely cute and definitely homemade, and I absolutely love it. So I just put a little bit of those little dimple type defining features on the end of his smile there, and I think the face turns out pretty okay. You'll have to let me know what you think. But I take a little bit of Dollar Tree ribbon and I cut it down because I didn't have any of the exact size to fit onto his thing, and I wanted to add a little bit of evergreen into his little hat there. So I just glue each of the ends of the ribbon down here. This is pretty self-explanatory, just using some hot glue and wrapping that around, and you just cut it to size. You could even make like a little scarf for him if you wanted to, if you'd rather not decorate the top hat, or you could do both. And then I will just glue on my little evergreen there and just add some little berries to it. I think this turns out super, super cute. I just take a gold acrylic paint marker and just touch up where the styrofoam shows through. That's just a hack for you guys. If you ever have the styrofoam peeking through on your berries, just take the same color marker and touch it up. But what do you guys think of him? I think he turned out so cute. I am absolutely in love with him. And he was so easy to do. So I found this cute little metal bucket or planter at my thrift store. It had a regular price of $20 on it, but it had been marked down to $2. And then this cute little snowman that says the word snow beneath him. I'm not going to use any of the letters for this project. I'll hang on to them for another project, but I'm going to use that darling little snowman for sure. So I'm just taking some white paint in a chip brush, and I am just going to dry brush all over this little pot. I feel, and it's metal, so I'm not really sure if it's like a pot or a basket container. Let's call it a container. So I'm just going to brush all over this, and that detail and design is just going to pop because it will stay that darker color. And I really love how this looks, and I really feel like this is something I could use all year long, not necessarily just for winter. How you dress it up with what floral arrangement you put in it is going to determine what season it will be best for. So now to get our snowman all ready, so I am just going to take him off from these cute little letters, and we're just going to kind of give him a little bit of a new wardrobe. So I just cut my wires there with some wire cutters to get him off of there. And I want to remove, this is a metal scarf that's on him, and I don't particularly love that. I mean, I could just leave it like that, but I kind of wanted to dress that up a little bit. So I do try with my wire cutters to cut it, and then realize this is the flimsiest little piece of tin, so I can easily cut it with my scissors. So that's what I do, and then I just use some needle nose pliers to get it out because it was stuck in there with like a little staple or something. And so now we kind of have a little naked snowman, but I'm going to cut the hanging tag off of him because we are not going to need to hang him anymore. And after I take that off, I just use my sander to make sure that any sharp edges that would be left from the metal are completely gone. So I just take some buffalo check ribbon that I had, and I am going to tie that onto him for his scarf. That matches my decor. This is where you could totally customize it to be whatever you would like. And I just tie it in a knot, and then I am going to dovetail the ends of each side of the scarf. And I mean, I know a scarf's not necessarily dovetailed, but I really just thought that gave a good finished look to it. So you could definitely cut it at an angle or however you would like. I just thought that looked so cute, and he just looks so wintry. So I'm just taking some floral picks that I have. This one came from Hobby Lobby, and I have a few others from Dollar Tree that I am just going to tuck in here. I have this package of these evergreen little picks or strands that I got here from Dollar Tree, and I'm just taking a bunch of them, folding them in half and tucking them in to make it look a little bit fuller. And then I am taking my snowman and just a wooden dowel, and I slide it up through the scarf, so if I ever decide I want to change it, I don't have to deal with glue on the scarf. And I am just going to put some hot glue to glue that in, and then just tuck him inside. I think this just turned out so cute, and it is so wintry. I absolutely love this little snowman and think it looks so cute in this little arrangement. Thank you so much for joining me today and watching me create these beautiful, adorable snowman DIYs. I hope that they have inspired you. Please remember to check down in my description box for the link to the playlist, or it's pinned at the top of my comments so you can see all of the other beautiful DIYs that these very talented creators have made for you. I would love to know which one of these snowman DIYs inspired you the most, and if you have a really good snowman name, please let me know down in the comments. I love naming my little snowmen, and I'd love to hear the different names that you guys come up with. As always, I would like to remind you guys to be safe, be smart, be nice, be happy. Choose to have a good day because you are amazing. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed the video that you just saw, here's another one that you might enjoy. And as always, remember to like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching and have an amazing day.